Hello, Phoenix friends. This is Jessie, and today I'm meeting with Anne, who is a luxury travel advisor and the founder of the Daily Travel Dose. Let's jump in. So, for folks meeting you for the first time, who are you outside of Itineraries?
Oh my goodness, who am I? That's a little bit of a long story, but I'm originally from Belgium. So, I mean, people who meet me are like, oh, you have a little bit of an accent, but I've been in the US since 98.
Since 98.
So it's been a long time. First, I lived in New Jersey on the East Coast, and then traveled a lot to the West Coast for my job at the time. And then I was like, okay, I need to move to the West Coast, or at least, a little bit closer. And I ended up in Scottsdale, Arizona, and now I live in Phoenix. Yeah, and I love it here. I love the Southwest. Should have moved sooner. I love road trips, because I'm all about travel. I think I'm a little bit obsessed with travel. So
Slightly.
slightly.
That's okay, but you made a job out of it.
Yes.
That's perfect. So Belgium to Arizona, how did that shape your taste for destinations and hospitality?
So if you're from Belgium and if you've ever been there, it's like as big as a postage stamp. It's as like maybe Maryland, so it's like size of Maryland. So I've always traveled a lot. I've always, you get on a train there and in an hour and a half, you're in Paris or in another country. So I've always had an interest in traveling. When I think it was 17, I first came to the US on an exchange with my high school in Belgium.
Oh my gosh, how long were you here for? That's really young.
So this was just a 2-week thing, but it was really interesting that my high school did this because most of the time people were going to Rome or to Paris for, some trips that you do like in high school. But my high school, we went to the United States. We went to Connecticut. It was my first state that I visited.
It's so funny, Connecticut. It's very random.
Yes, I know. It was like, Connecticut. So it was a special place in my heart because it was the first state that I visited. And so not only, of course, growing up in Europe, I'm interested in European destinations, but one of my specialty destinations now is French Polynesia. And that's kind of random. Like, why would you be interested in French Polynesia coming from Europe? But I remember growing up, we saw this commercials on TV about some shower gel. And it was like this lady coming out of this magnificent blue lagoon with palm trees. And, Belgium is not that, right? We don't have palm trees. And I was just fascinated. And I was like, I really want to go there. And at some point then, when I finally grew up, I managed to get to French Polynesia. And so now this is one of my specialty destinations. And I love that destination personally.
It's funny, those small things that we take from our childhood that impact our whole lives.
Yep.
It's amazing.
Yep. It's random, but yeah, that's how it happened.
Well, French Polynesia is definitely on my bucket list. Haven't made it out there yet, but
yeah, we can make that happen.
We should.
Yes.
Maybe I'll plan our next visit before we leave today.
Yeah.
So tell me about the moment that daily travel dose stopped being an idea and became your career.
So as I mentioned, I've been traveling my entire life. Years ago, I was working as like an administrative assistant and executive assistant, and I also planned travel for the person that I was assisting, which I'm sure that was like outside of my job description, but I ended up doing that. I like it. And then at some point I was like, maybe I should just start making some money doing this instead of just doing it, for free.
Yeah.
And so now since it's now 25, and actually October 2018. So October is my anniversary. So
happy anniversary.
Yeah, thank you. So 7 years now I've been doing this. And yeah, I love it. I try to still, of course, grow my business.
Yeah.
It's, if you're a business owner, you know how that goes.
Yep.
Constantly trying to, get more clients, make clients happy, and so.
Did you go straight to being to starting the business, or were you a travel advisor elsewhere, or just went from being the assistant to?
No, I've also had another job, in clinical research, and did a lot of traveling for my job at the time. So that was good because I traveled all over the US. And then at some point, years ago, I got laid off in one of my jobs. And I ended up then deciding, instead of, finding another job, in clinical research, I was like, I'm going to go to the International Tour Management Institute in San Francisco and take a course to be a tour director.
Oh, wow.
And so then I went there to be a tour director. So then I ended up traveling for 2 years with people coming from Europe, all over the US and Canada.
Oh,
so I've seen, a good deal of the
my
United
goodness.
States. So yeah, I mean.
Do you have a favorite memory from those travels?
Yeah, actually, there was one tour that was special to me. I worked for different companies, right? You're an independent contractor, so you work for different companies. And one of them was like a singles tour.
Ooh.
Yes. And so it was like, and I was like that lady like on TV, with a big bus of people and then, on a microphone and everything. And so it was all singles people from the Netherlands because, they were looking for people who spoke Dutch. So one of them kind of like took an interest in the other person. And years ago, I met them in New York and they messaged me and they were like, yeah, we're coming to visit. And guess what? We are married and we're going to have a baby. And now they have 2 kids and are together. So
that was that.
And it was on my bus. So yeah, that was like, that was so cool.
It's amazing those small roles that you play and are so impactful.
Yeah, that was really cool. I was like, oh, that was really special.
That's sweet that they called you later too.
Yeah, and I'm still, Facebook friends and on Instagram, and we sometimes message each other. And I can see now, I feel so old because this is years ago, and now their kids are already, much older, and I'm like, oh, time flies.
We all age. It's fine. It's about how we feel.
Yeah,
I love
that.
So give us a quick tour of what services you offer.
Yeah, that's a good question. So I do really everything. I can book flights. I can plan an entire itinerary from scratch, which is really, it's called an FIT, like flexible independent travel.
Okay.
So if you say I want to go for 3 weeks to Australia, I can put the entire itinerary together with, hotels, rental cars, flights, excursions. I can even, book restaurants or give you recommendations on restaurants. I can do yacht rentals. I can do private island rentals if you, have maybe $1 million to spare for a week. I can really do anything. And one of the other most important things that people always forget or tend to like not spend money on, and I think it's super important, and I think the events of this week have shown that this is important, is travel insurance.
Yes. I always get the travel insurance.
You're very smart.
Yes.
But it's one of those things that a lot of people are like, I spent $30,000 on a trip, but I don't want to spend $300 on travel insurance. And I'm like, you really need to get travel insurance.
When I went home this summer, our flight was so delayed, I missed our connection, and I was traveling with a toddler, and he was already upset, and I was like, I can't imagine. It was the last flight out because it was Canada Day.
Yeah.
And I couldn't imagine getting in the plane the next morning to get back and try and do this again. So I just booked us 2 days later.
Yeah.
And I booked a hotel and a rental car. The entire thing was covered through the insurance. I was so grateful.
Well,
so grateful.
It's so good. It's just marketing right here for travel insurance.
Get the travel insurance.
No,
always get the travel insurance.
It's just, I mean, even, and of course you hope that you don't need it, right? Because that's the best case scenario. But it's like one of those things that you think, I don't need it until you really need it.
Yeah. And then you need it and you wish you had it. So get the travel insurance. Save yourself the headache.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So it's a good story. We didn't time this or talk about this. But
it was perfect.
Yes,
it was perfect. You're welcome.
Yes.
Anytime you need to sell that travel insurance, call me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect. So what areas do you service? I'm assuming you service outside of Arizona. Can you help clients that are outside of Arizona as well?
Oh yeah, I mean, actually, most of my clients are outside of Arizona because I work remotely. Okay. All I need is an internet connection and my phone and my computer. So I mean, they're mostly from the United States, but I also have clients from Europe. There may be some restrictions depending on which suppliers we use. That sometimes I cannot really work with credit cards from outside the United States, but yeah, all over the U.S. Okay. I mean, it's yeah.
Oh, I love that. For your typical clients, honeymooners, families, groups, milestone travel?
It's a very good question as well, because I would say the majority of my clients are people doing like some kind of celebratory travel, like a honeymoon. Yes, and those are the younger clientele most of the time, right? But then we have like people who are celebrating, 50 birthday, or a milestone in general, or an anniversary. Um, but then lately, also, I've been getting a lot of requests for family travel, like multi-generational travel, where the grandparents are going with the grown adult kids, and then they're taking the grandkids. That's been a thing. So it's lately been all over the place. But I love like romance travel to, for a couple that is, celebrating like an anniversary or something, to really make sure that they have like the smoothest trip ever and the best trip ever. I do love that personally, to really, make it special. I try to make it special for everybody. I think if you read my reviews online, you will see that I really go above and beyond all the time. And things I cannot control, but if I can control it, I will make sure that you get to be VIP'd everywhere you are. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Walk us through your process from first call, proposal, departure. How do you help your clients?
Yeah. So usually it starts with either a phone call or an email. I prefer email because then if you send me an email, I know that you are legitimate. And if I just get a random phone call on my phone, it could be a spam call, which is what's been happening on my phone lately a lot. So it's best to either text me or email me. And then, you'll send me an email and say, hey, I would really like to go to Cancun with my family in June next year. Can you help me? Well, I need a little bit more information. So then I usually pick up the phone, we make an appointment, we talk, we chat, we go over my process for certain itineraries or things that put together. I do charge a planning fee. If that's something that you're okay with paying, then we move forward. I send you a form to fill out all of your details, and then really we get going because there's a lot of things that need to happen, right, to make sure that you have the best vacation ever. The other thing I need to mention is that a lot of time people wait until the last minute and they think, oh, it's great because last minute maybe it's a little bit cheaper. In this day and age, if you are looking for a specific resort or a specific room category, things are sold out. So don't wait. And really, it all depends on what type of travel you're doing. If you're doing a safari a year out, you should be booking.
So for a safari, about a year in advance, we should start looking. What about your typical all-inclusive resort down south? Like, what are timeframes that you
I usually try not to work on what I call last minute, is like within 3 months of travel. Like if you call me in October for, next month, I'm probably not going to be able to do it because I'm too busy with current clients.
Okay.
Or I have to stress myself so much to try to find something that's still available. It's not worth it. And also with cruises, river cruises, book a year in advance sometimes, or, it's better. The pricing is better because sometimes you get discounts for, doing early booking. You will have availability, which is really, it's hard to believe, but even the suites or the room categories or the luxury hotels that seem out of reach for a lot of people, those are the most booked. And it's hard to find availability there. So if you really have something if you have something in mind, like a bucket list thing or a wanderlust list item, I would say like book early. Okay. That's like my mantra. I say it all the time. Yeah, I say it all the time, and people don't really listen to me, but it's okay.
You know what?
That's my advice.
The hard way.
Yeah, that's my advice. Yeah.
So what hidden value do travelers get when booking through you that they wouldn't think about?
Mm-hmm. Well, first of all, you get me. So, hey.
What could you not love?
Yeah, it's true. Like if you travel on your own, and it's fine. I've traveled on my own without a travel advisor in my life. I know what it's like. You can just book things on your own. The chances are that you may have booked something that is not really near the beach, or you're not sure, right? So the first value, I think, comes from really, I would never put you anywhere where it's not safe. Where, if you wanted an oceanfront view, you're going to get an oceanfront view, and it's not like next to the parking lot or something like that. And then we also can get special discounts. Sometimes we can take a deposit and you can do a payment plan.
Oh, wow.
So that's something that people don't know about. And then through, because of the volume of sales, I'm with a host agency, and because of the volume of sales that we do, all together, we get special perks. And for instance, there's a program called Select, and we can get amenities for our clients if we book them direct with the hotel. And if the hotel is participating in that program, we'll be able to get you maybe $100 resort credit, or a free breakfast, or, early check-in, late checkout, all depends on, what they have available. But we do have extra perks to give you. And, I'm with the clients all the way through travel until you get home.
Okay.
So
they travel.
I'm not going with them, but it's like I'm remotely with you. I check in on people, and if there's anything really that were to happen that is really not acceptable, you just need to call me or send me a text, and I'll take care of it as much as, if it's under my control, I will make sure that I help you.
So you're almost like the umbrella concierge.
Yes, right. I'm the umbrella. That's a nice way. I'm the umbrella concierge. Yes. Yeah.
That's perfect. I love all
that.
Yep. So let's talk about traveling on a budget. How do you guide people to the best version of their trip for what they want to spend?
Yeah. So it is one of the questions that I ask people, when we talk about the trip. What is your budget?
Yeah.
And sometimes it can be a budget that is completely not realistic for the destination, okay, right? So then I just have to educate a little bit. But I'm also one of those people who, if I know I can save you $2,000 on something, I'm going to save you $2,000, right?
Awesome.
I'm not in this business to just upcharge people. I'm actually making it a little bit of a sport to get you the best value for you. I'm not going to say that I'm going to, get you the lowest price on something. It's all about giving you the best value, right? Because you need to be happy. You need to have the best vacation ever. And so you need to just be realistic from the beginning, with your budget. Sometimes then if people have a little bit of a lower budget for what they want to do, I'll say, let's make it shorter. Let's make the trip a little bit shorter to fit the budget. So
to explore different.
Yeah. There's different options, and yeah. I work with any budget. It just needs to be realistic for the trip.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing is always like, what you want to do is you're going to be safe, right?
So important, especially traveling somewhere you don't know.
Yeah, exactly. It's about safety. Even if like single women traveling, we want to make sure that you're somewhere safe, and not, let's say, in the outskirts somewhere in a dark alley where you can maybe save $500, but you need to be safe.
Yeah.
So, it all kind of, it's the whole package. But if I can save you money, trust me, I will save you money. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
So you highlighted French Polynesia, also Hawaii on your website, and luxury cruises. What makes each special, and who are they perfect for?
Well, I think Hawaii and French Polynesia is really perfect for everybody. But Hawaii is probably perfect for people who want to stay within the United States, because they don't want to, deal with a passport. They don't want to have to deal with another language, or, it's perfect for romance, adventure. French Polynesia is more for people who kind of like Hawaii, but they feel like they want to have a little bit, fewer people around them. There's not a lot of people who visit French Polynesia. It's, you can be on the beach by yourself sometimes, which is nice, which you don't have in Hawaii. Yeah.
Don't tell anyone.
It's like less than 300,000 people go to visit, I think, in a year. I have to look at the latest numbers, but it's, not very visited. What is a plus, though, is if you wanted to go to Europe and you can't make it to Europe, since it's French, you also have the French flair and the French food and, French language. So it's a little bit of a combo of Europe and tropical. And then I also, I love taking people to Colombia, which is easy, to get to from the United States. You don't have a huge jet lag. So It has everything. It has deserts, mountains, coffee region, beaches. It has colonial cities. I mean, it has really everything. I'm going, actually, I told you already before, I'm going on a river cruise in Colombia next month, and I'm super excited about it because I think it's going to be a great way to see, Colombia in a different way from the water,
Yeah. How many different cities are you stopping in on your river cruise?
I actually don't know.
You don't know? Okay.
Well, I mean, so we're going from Barranquilla to Cartagena, and then in between, we're going to very small towns along the river. So it's like you're going to visit places where you would otherwise never really go as a tourist. And I don't know how many, but it's like 7 nights, and yeah, I'm super excited.
It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, I know.
Can't wait to see her.
A lot of music and UNESCO protected sites and nature, and it's gonna be really, really exciting.
That is gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, once in a lifetime opportunity.
Yeah.
So, what's your favorite under the radar spot you love sending clients to?
My favorite so I have to go back to French Polynesia.
That's okay.
But
clearly we have a favorite.
Yes. No, the things like with French Polynesia, everyone's like, oh, Bora Bora.
Okay.
Because sometimes people say French Polynesia, I don't know what that is, but they know about Tahiti and they know Bora Bora. But there's 118 different islands in French Polynesia. And I, 2 years ago, I went to Rangiroa, which is another hour flight from Tahiti. And I mean, it's so small, and the nature is just.
Is that where you had the beach all to yourself?
Yeah, pretty much. Yes. So there's a lot of like smaller islands that you can go to that are, even less touristed and less visited. And yeah, I mean, you can keep going back there all the time. I mean, it's like, yeah.
I love it.
Yes. I think we need to book you.
I think we need to too.
Yes.
I'm like, sorry, we're canceling the Louise trip.
Yes.
What is some start here advice for travel that you would give people watching at home?
So plan in advance, right? So I worked with a client who said, we have some heritage in Italy. I would like to surprise my husband with an Italy trip. And we started planning it a year in advance. And it's because, they had a budget that was a little bit tight, but it was like, let's book it way in advance, and then we can put you on a payment plan. The supplier in Italy that I used, they were like, we can do like a monthly payment. So that worked out really well. So it's really like, if you have something in mind that you want to do, book in advance, put a deposit, so you grab the dates and you have the room and you kind of have your itinerary, and then you have a long time also to save up, right? Because a lot of times people are like, well, I don't have money to travel, or I don't have that much money to travel. You have to make it a priority for yourself, and maybe open up a bank account, and maybe make some sacrifices. But if you plan way in advance, it's easier on your budget.
Yeah. And I feel like mentally, if you have those dates and you're making those monthly payments, it's easier to make that payment versus put it into a savings account when something else comes up. I love this.
And then you can start, marking it on the calendar. I had someone who was like, once in a while she would text me and say, oh, only, 67 days to go. And I'm like, oh, who's counting?
Who's counting?
Yeah, I mean, so you have something to look forward to and work towards. It's really
way to motivate yourself to wake up in the morning and go to work.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
That's a great one. Travel stress busters. What are your packing or flight day systems that clients always adopt?
Well, it hasn't really anything to do with stress or anything, but what I always recommend people do is put an AirTag in your luggage.
Oh, that reduces stress. That
Reduces hopefully stress. You don't need it, right? Because everything's fine and it says your luggage is with you, But in the event the airline loses your luggage, you will always know where it is. So I always have an AirTag in my luggage. Just
That's a great one.
Yeah. And the other thing is, and I'm not good myself because I kind of am like, going against my own advice, is go to the airport early.
No, I like that one too.
Yeah, I know.
Missed a flight
I know.
Because
I've missed a flight once in my entire life, and I've flown a lot, but I haven't done that since, and it's been a long, long time. But just go to the airport early,
Mhm.
go to the bar, get a beer, just relax, or coffee in the morning, but just,
They serve mimosas. It's
yeah,
fine.
yeah, that's true. Or get a mimosa, because, there's nothing like, going through like security and
Oh,
like, I
especially
mean,
if they're like
traveling is stressful.
understaffed or absolutely.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
nobody says like, oh, traveling, like the actual traveling part of like leaving your house, getting on, to the airport through the security, and then getting on the plane and getting, that part is not a fun part. Nobody says it's fun,
No one,
right?
I love it when we're in the air.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's when travel starts to be fun.
Yeah, yeah. Unless there's maybe a crying baby, but
that's usually my crying baby. So I understand that too.
Headset. I have a headset all the time. Yes.
No,
Yeah.
I know a guy is actually really good at traveling. He's been to Canada 3 times now, Dominican Republic, California, Missouri. Oh, I'm missing a state. California, Missouri, and then we're going to Belize next month.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
He's going to be well traveled.
Yeah. Good. No, that's awesome. It's important to travel. Yeah. I mean, it opens up your mind.
It does. I want him to be very open-minded because I feel like sometimes we can get so lost in the hustle and bustle of everyday daily life. We don't think about, that relaxing, that disconnecting time that travel brings and that reset. So,
yes.
Yeah, I really want that to be
wellness.
Yes.
I mean, taking a vacation and going somewhere and just really disconnecting is taking care of yourself. It's part of your wellness program. It really is. Mm-hmm. It really is. I mean, okay, maybe the travel part is a little bit stressful, but then you can just like go and relax. Yes. It's really important to just get out of your routine and, even for couples, right? Yeah. When it comes to romance, we're all so busy, everyone's running around like crazy. People have 3 jobs. Just to, even have like a long weekend with your loved one it makes a difference. It's it's important to do.
I love it. We're speaking the same language.
Yes.
Paperwork and entry basics you wish more travelers knew.
Well, that's also a good question because every country really has their own, requirements, right? Mm-hmm. And I recently actually heard, because as travel advisors, we're all, in this together, and we all have Facebook groups and we talk to each other and we hear all the stories. From Mexico, for instance, Mexico is very, very hard on if your passport has a crease or there's a little corner missing from a page, they won't let you in.
Oh,
you need to make sure your passport goes in your safe at home.
So it stays like intact, and
it has to be intact. It cannot have anything going on with, no coffee stains or, there's, I think on Facebook, like this picture of a passport and a little girl has like,
Oh, no, I haven't seen that. I'm gonna go look for that
like
later.
When you get to the airport and you open the passport and it has like a little,
your daughter found a crayon passport.
Like some crayon on the passport. So no, I mean those things. So, and of course you always have to make sure that you're up to date on all of these entry requirements and even exit requirements. You can only stay so many days.
Exit requirements. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, so this is also why a travel agent will, tell you, you need to, same thing. There's some misconception like with Mexico. I'm going back to Mexico now because I'm working on Mexico, but the visit tax, it's something that you have to pay before you leave Mexico if you're going to like Quintana Roo, like the, area where Cancun is.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of misinformation online. There's some scam online, websites. It costs only, I don't remember now exactly how much it is, but it shouldn't cost you $50 a person. And people get scammed because they just Googled something and they ended up on a website that wasn't, the real website. And you do have to pay this visit tax. They could really check this before you leave the airport. So just talk to your travel advisor and take their advice.
Yeah, absolutely.
It can really cause headaches for people because if you, the whole thing with the passport, the client had to go back. They had to go back.
Oh,
they wouldn't let him into the country.
Turned around when you get to the border.
Yeah,
you've traveled all the way there.
Yep. Yeah, that's what happened, and I don't know now how it all then proceeded from there, but I was like, that's a really good point. So now every time when I have clients from Mexico, I'm about to, if you're listening,
Yes.
You know, you're
Check
gonna
your
get an
passport.
email from me to say make sure your passport is in really good shape.
And I'm sure that there are other countries that are they're going to start or have started that.
Yeah.
So make sure your passport is beautiful.
Yes, yeah, and Europe also recently just changed some entry and exit requirements where they're taking biometrics for people exiting, and then later in 2026 they're going to also have like it's not a visa, but it's called an ESTA. No, not an ESTA. ETIAS. ESTA is for people from Europe coming here, but it's called ETIAS. You're gonna have to pay, $17 or something, and it's like a pre-approval. It's not a visa. Online they say like visa, but it's not a visa. It's a pre-approval to travel there as an American. It's not just for Americans. It's for other people too, Canadians. Or people from
North America.
Yeah. No, it's also for other regions of the world. But so that's something that's coming in 2026. It's been delayed for many months, so stay tuned.
So you're on top of all of these requirements. So when someone books with you, you're searching for all of them. You're made aware, and you're making the clients aware so that they don't miss anything. I love that. Perfect.
Yeah.
What great peace of mind. Yeah. So this is going to be my last question, unless you say something really cool that I want to ask you more questions about. So what is your favorite micro itinerary that you would plan for a couple in Phoenix who just wanted to take a small, long weekend staycation in Phoenix?
In Phoenix?
Yeah.
It has to be within the boundary of Phoenix.
We can say Arizona.
Oh,
we can say Arizona.
Oh no, I mean, yeah, because Arizona is huge, right? I mean, there's so many things to do.
Here.
I love getting in the car and just going, somewhere for the weekends. But, well, I mean, Phoenix has great things, like the Desert Botanical Garden, where we got married.
Did you get married there?
Yes. Yeah, we love it so much.
Congratulations.
So, so this is like, I think a must do, to go to the Desert Botanical Garden. Then a really nice dinner. Well, they used to have a great restaurant there, and it's recently changed. It doesn't exist anymore. But a nice dinner, maybe at one of the restaurants. I won't name restaurants because then they're like, "Oh, you're promoting my restaurant." But maybe it depends on what you're in the mood for. But what I love, and it's not really Phoenix, but Paradise Valley. I love lawns at the Hermosa Inn.
We almost went there the entire.
Oh, really? Yeah, I mean, it's like one of my favorite places to go. It's so very Arizona. So and great. Then, for a stay, I love the Global Ambassador.
Oh, is it nice? It looks nice. I haven't.
It's very nice. It's not a huge place. Mm-hmm. It has a very European feel, and they also have really, really great restaurants. So, and a spa. They have a spa. So. Yeah, that's kind of like that would be my weekend away.
That sounds like a great
Not weekend. Away, but away from home.
Yeah, I didn't disagree with any of those, and I would be so happy doing all that. So if you want your next trip curated for you, Anne is your go-to. I will put all of her information in the caption so you can reach out to her. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Yep, thanks.